10 seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Dire team ban. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining.
Ah, there we go. There we go. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to game number 2 of this best of 3 series, in this elimination series, I should say, in the Dota 2 Champions League. The Alliance is up 1-0 versus PRIES. My name is Dragon Drop Dota, and I'm joined by Llama Down Under. How's it going?
It's going pretty well, and I see that PRIES, I mean, they let the IO through, they got punished by the IO, now they're banning it out. As we talked about though, the problem is it's really rough because you still have a lot of heroes you want to ban against Alliance, and they're gonna have to pick carefully, but similar bans coming out of Alliance again. I thought the Darkseer ban out was because they knew they were going to pick an IO lineup where, you know, Vacuum, obviously very good between the tethered unit and the IO, but no, it's like...
Well, it's just generally one of these strong offlaners. I mean, you're gonna ban out the Doom pretty much no matter what, so don't really have to talk about that pick. But Darkseer as well is one of these high-tier offlaners that pretty much always gets what he needs, just because he's one of those that can rotate into the jungle and farm up some stacks as well, if necessary, to get up a Magnetism or Blink Dagger or whatever kind of items that he wants to go for. So no big surprise that Alliance doesn't really want to deal with that, because also the kind of pressure it can put out up against your safe laner kind of restricts the choices of strategies that you can go for with your own draft. So it's definitely understandable, but for PRIES, of course, also the first phase bans with the Wisp as well as the Broodmother, as understandable as anything else up against Alliance. But the problem is, as you mentioned, you just can't ban out up against Alliance. So you probably just better off picking your poison, really. Just banning out what you really don't want to play against, and then trying to try and find out what comes, and then try and deal with that as it comes.
Yeah, and we've got Tusk. I like this hero. He did receive a bit of a nerf, but at the same time, he's still really fantastic. The launch time of the snowball is long enough to refresh blink, not refresh. Let's just not talk about what that word could possibly mean. So he's a nice pickup, and he's a strong support or offlaner. I think he has almost more impact than an Earthshaker, just because he has a bit more damage early game. So. Yeah, and Queen of Pain Undying immediately out of Alliance. I would just want to note that Alk isn't banned. I'm always a big fan of Alk stuffing those Aghanim Scepters down people's throats. He'll probably be banned next round by PRIES, but it's always good. So
yeah, maybe not. I mean, it might come through. We have seen it from Alliance before, and it's might not be on PRIES' radar compared to all the other things that they will probably want to ban out. But yeah, I would also agree that PRIES should probably have that in the back of their minds. I mean, if you pick up 2 heroes that can benefit greatly from Aghanim Scepter upgrades, doesn't necessarily that they will get those quickly or even at all if they have an Alchemist. Because I really feel like if you play an Alchemist, you kind of have to make sure that he gets fed enough himself first before you start building Aghanim Scepters. Right, he has to be ahead.
Yeah, he has to be ahead, and right now the build for Alchemist is a build that Alliance would like. You know, it's Manta, Radiance, Manta, Octarine. It's pretty standard. It's kind of, you can rat Dota with it a bit, but as you pointed out, it's something where you're not feeding people. It's not the strat with Alk that sometimes we saw occasionally where he feeds everyone an Ags. That's not really the optimal build considered right now. So people like Quap who can farm it up easily will build their own. Undying maybe wouldn't, but still a lot of mixed feelings on how powerful that 10 strength steal on Decay is. It actually had a really low win rate when it first came out, because it looked like teams who were getting it, you were getting it so late that it wasn't having a lot of game impact, but they still banned out the Alk on PRIES.
Yeah, so probably not going to see any of that, but yeah, the problem with the 10 strength is it's super great if you're already ahead. If you actually get the farm to build up an axe at a reasonable time, which is hard enough on Undying, and if you're at that point in the game, you might as well build some sort of other item, maybe Crimson Guard or anything like that, and you pretty much have the same impact because you're already winning. And it's not the kind of Aghanim's Scepter upgrade that can get you back in the game, because hey, might get one DK off, but well, if the enemy heroes are so fed that they still burst you down with a couple of right clicks, then it doesn't really do anything for you. It doesn't give crowd control. Sure, it does quite a bit amount of damage here, even from non DK if you can get it off in a couple of heroes, but ultimately that is not enough.
Yeah, so I think the other thing though that we always have to be careful about with the Undying, if he gets off to a good start, it is something where with the Guardian Greaves, Guardian Greaves obviously get you crap tons of armor. Undying also sometimes builds up Solar Crest, maybe, depends. And then with all those decay stacks, you can see, even without an Ags, you see an Undying who's like rocking 2k health maybe randomly in a team fight and has huge amounts of armor. He does become a bit hard to burst down, but I'd with Nightstalker ban out, I like this, he's very strong. And the Shadow Fiend, I mean, it's a Radiant Shadow Fiend. It was banned, I think, first round last time instead of the IO. So just respecting S4 on that hero.
Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah, I don't really know where Alliance wants to go. From here. I mean, Undying and Queen of Pain kind of telegraphs the intention to go early aggression, possibly even dual off lanes with the Undying. You can maybe even pick up an Omni Knight if you want to go crazy. I mean, you're up 1-0, so I know plenty of options.
I don't think
here.
an Omni Knight's even crazy. Yeah, it's Slaughter. Could be offlane, could be safe lane. I don't think an Omni Knight's crazy, although I've been seeing him have a lot of success in the offlane recently. Some of the Americas teams I cast really like running that. And it just takes advantage of, if you have an Omni versus a safe lane carry, he might need a bit of support, but once he can get a few levels, he can run out of most things, although it's harder with ice shards, depending on where this Tusk is. But then also, the AoE on Purification is really big, and it's pure damage. So heroes like a Spectre, which are very squishy, even a Gyrocopter who has to get pretty close to the creeps, the last hit, take a lot of damage.
Yeah, absolutely. Might still see it here, but might still see different lanes entirely here with Slaughter, Undying, Queen of Pain. There's a lot to work with, very ambiguous so far. But PRIES, also to some degree. Lina, we have seen her reprise the support role in quite a decent number of games recently, but I've also seen Lina run still as that mid 2 position core, where you still get your the same kind of build, right? Yule Scepter into Aghanim Scepter. It has been nerfed in terms of damage a little bit, but still pretty damn good. But hey, one thing it doesn't really help you against is a giant army of trees, and PRIES, they don't ban an Nature's Prophet. Now they're playing against Alliance. You know how the meme goes, but might add another game to the tally here. What do you think about the Nature's Prophet here?
It's nice. It's also, I feel like it's meant to be a bit slippery. It's going to be harder for Bulldog to be as slippery on this Nature's Prophet because of the Beastmaster with both the both of the Hawks, but it's going to be interesting. Beastmaster also can help lock him down or lock down a Quap a bit more. But Alliance, they're in a good place for either early push. You know, Queen of Pain brings a lot of AoE. Undying with that Soul Rip can keep people alive. And Nature's Prophet, of course, 1 million units. But the Ember Spirit, it'll be a battle to see whether he can stay in this game long enough to get up. Because he doesn't need just a Battle Fury, he also needs a crit.
Yeah, I'm a bit torn on the Ember Spirit here, because on paper, it's really great up against Nature's Prophet. I mean, just cleaving off all the trees. But then you look at the rest of the Alliance's lineup. You have the Queen of Pain, which has pure damage. You have the Slaughter, who can amplify physical damage, which is something that the Ember Spirit cannot deal with whatsoever. Queen of Pain can build an Orchid. Slaughter has a decent disable as well. So those heroes are really well suited of dealing with him. So yeah, that's a problem, because, well, if you can get a couple of ganks off early on him, then it can be that he, as you said, just takes so long to actually catch back up and deal with what Alliance throws at them.
Yeah, Ember Spirit this patch, just because of changes to other heroes, his Battle Fury timing has been put back to 25 minutes. It used to be 22 on average, I think, and now it's 25. He also generally is a hero that wants to go bots, which is good. It really speeds up your farm, not having to buy those TPs, and seems like it would be a fantastic way to take advantage of Beastmaster's summons and deal with Nature's Prophet, who will be constantly split pushing. Unfortunately, it also does mean that you're squishy as all get up. So Slaughter with the amp damage, there's pure damage on Queen of Pain. Ember can deal with magic, but he can't deal with physical or pure. So
yep. Well, last bans came out. That'll be the Shrek from PRIES. Not a hero that I would have thought of, but definitely one that can work, especially up against the Ember Spirit. I mean, there's kind of two ways to go. Either you go for the magic damage build, try to burst down through the Flame Guard if you're Shrek, or just go for the Stun Edict build, a little bit old school, but still hurting quite a bit if you manage to isolate a hero. But could have been on the table for Alliance, but I think they're looking for someone. Another support here, I would say.
Yeah, it could have been a support Leshrac or a support Slaughter. We've seen utility Slaughter. I think PRIES just very cognizant of the fact that they need to buy time and they don't want to deal with another push hero. So, at the same time though, Alliance actually banned out the Witch Doctor. Okay, so never mind on that. I was gonna say you've still got a couple heroes that heal you up. Where is Wyvern? Wyvern is still in. So.
Yeah.
Either side could take advantage of her, and certainly it's probably Beastmaster mid, but regardless of who is mid, if Alliance picks up the Wyvern, you sit middle for one wave, you Arctic Burn your opponent. Oh, it sucks to be anybody on PRIES. And while the same goes for Alliance, it's a little bit easier. The Queen of Pain can just blink away. Yes, it blows that long cooldown, but level 1 Arctic Burn is like 40 seconds cooldown? Around there, at least. It's at least 30, so.
45, I believe, yeah. Yeah, by the way, I'm just loving how the chat explodes with the meme as soon as they just drop and get picked. Yeah, I mean, there's memes inside of me, I won't deny it, and it just makes my heart go full bloom, so thank you guys for that. But
I like how what warms the cockles of your hearts is Twitch spam, as opposed to you're like, yeah, I saw a deer being born, it rose from the forest, but you know what really does it for me? Twitch chat spam. I'll love me some Kappa and Mingli.
No,
but either way, it's a disruptor.
it's not the Twitch chat spam, it's the memes, right? The memes and all of us.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Mm-hmm. Let's talk about Disruptor and how he counters this Ember.
I will never be understood. Alright. Yeah, Disruptor against Ember, absolutely. It's just, I mean, Ember Spirit, just like the Storm Spirit or some other heroes, really rely on the mobility and from their spells to actually stay alive, get around teamfights, and get out of trouble. So Disruptor just shuts it down. If he sees Ember Spirit, you plop down the ultimate, get a static field down, all of a sudden there's nothing he can do. Even if he zips out, if it's not too far away, and if you get some vision up, you can still glimpse him right back. So it's excellent counter to the Tusk as well. I mean, if he snowballs in, you just plop down your ultimate, and then what does he do, right? Templar Assassin though, interesting pick. Not too sure about that either though.
Okay, so I think, and I could be really wrong on this, maybe trying to hope that she can help with some of the wave clear with stuff like Cyblade. I'm not super sure. It's really scary to be a Templar, I feel like, here, because they have a number of ways of getting rid of your refraction charges, and also, if you end up in a static storm, you're just dead. Like,
yeah,
you don't, it ticks, so it's not something where you block a lot of it. Yeah, and it could also just be that they're really comfortable with it. It looks like it's going to be an off-lane Beastmaster, safe-lane Ember, Tame My Wild on that Templar. It could just be that Tame My Wild, they were like, look, what are you super comfortable with in this matchup against Queen of Pain? So they picked Templar.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not too familiar with that matchup, haven't seen it in quite a while, but it's still in favor of the Queen of Pain, we could say. If S4 positions themselves correctly, not to get hit by too many of these side blades, he can use his damage over time from the Shadow Strike to just take through the refraction and rest back. It just feels like a much more questionable lineup to me from Priest than last game compared to what Alliance has to offer to counter them, but hey, we'll see how it works out as they walk out to the lanes. As we get into this game number 2 in the best of 3 series between Alliance and Priest. My name is Dragonjump. I'm joined by Llama Down Under. This is the Dota 2 Champions League. So let's take a quick look at our team, starting with the Russians here. On the Dire side, we've got Imagine Breaker playing the Tusk, Tame My Wild on the Templar Assassin, Dance and Trance. Not quite sure that's his proper name or not, but definitely wasn't there in the last game. He's playing the Lina out of the support position that leaves fast flow on that Ember Spirit up top, and the bottom lane to the normal flow, I guess, playing the Beastmaster.
You have the bug. I see Windex on Lina.
What?
We have the ticket bug issue here, where we've got different names of players. It is not important though, folks. We will just continue. On Alliance, we've got Admiral Bulldog on the Nature's Prophet. Chat, feel free to go crazy again. We've got Nuts, My Nuts. Why did he change his name to Nuts? My Nuts, clearly a better name. But My Nuts on Disruptor. Aki on that Undying, already getting a 2-man decay. Wait, we're going to have a team fight and we're going to have to call this. Let's see. They realize they don't want to be here. Do they have the glimpse? No. So both teams, well, not both teams, PRIES just giving up that rune. And they may actually lose both bounties. S4 on the Queen of Pain. And, of course, that means we've missed Loda on Slaughter. Loda Monster? Loda? With that big monster tag up there.
Well, he's definitely monster on this hero, I can tell you that for a fact. He's been playing this hero even when it wasn't good, you could say, almost. That's same for, like, these weird kind of heroes that you've never really seen in the meta before, like Lifestealer, even Chaos Knight, they've still picked it when it wasn't really on anyone's minds. It's great, always great to see him just show us what he can do on this particular hero.
Yep. So we've got in mid lane, they both managed to pull their creeps away. It's going to be a nice start for them. But we've also got Arky and Admiral Bulldog. They actually decide to run the dual lane. It should be more harassment on the Ember, but they have a tri-lane up here for PRIES. Arky's a hard hero to kill, as we talked about with those decay stacks. So they might have to go on Bulldog.
Yeah, but Bulldog, he's kind of being screened by Arcane to some degree, just being a kind of a shield for him at the side, just not even needing a ward that you usually see like in this kind of position or this or some around here just to spot out support rotations. But I'm gonna try for it anyway. And Tusk throws out the ice shards, but will not really do anything with it except tank a little bit of extra harassment. So this offlane dual lane working out so far and putting a pressure on path flow here.
Yeah, so in the meantime, it does mean that Loda, he's having a grand old time bottom. It feels like these two should just be able to easily trade foam, and Flo, when he gets the boar up, it should be a bit of a pain to Loda, but he can also use it to stack Ancients if he feels so inclined. So he's got a couple options depending on how well the lane is going for Beastmaster.
Yeah, I mean, Disruptor not one of the supports that can really zone him out either. I mean, he went Thunderstrike level 1, but of course it's tickling at most, so...
Yeah, I mean, if he's out of position, they can certainly punish him, but it's going to be a bit rough for a few levels, and he picks up an Indus, so he can either chill in lane, or he can maybe get some good damage onto Disruptor with that boar. Yeah, and we can see getting slowed. I don't think My Nuts will go down here, but, oh, he actually doesn't open on it. He's just going to leech, I think.
Yeah, just hanging around. It's on level 3, Slaughter is close by, can sprint up really easily, so it's not really good kill, but... Yeah, I mean, Disruptor actually going for, the second skill.
Oh, Aki's gonna look for our first blood, and here it is on Tame My Wild in mid lane. He basically Tame My Wild. He saw the refractions go down. S4, sorry, not Aki. S4 very quick on the updraw. He saw that he started ticking to the Shadow Strike, and then immediately Blunkin and auto attacked Tame My Wild. So I think I just called him Aki, and my apologies. I was too excited for the first blood, folks.
Well,
happens to the best.
Yeah, my
of us.
apologies as well. I kind of got grumbled by that one. Missed it completely, but hey, it happens. Especially to me. But, yeah.
It was very... I mean, S4 had been winning the mid lane already when it came to lost hits. Tame My Wild just having a lot of trouble with the Shadow Strike spam.
Yeah.
Now it's dominantly in S4's favor. So Tame My Wild, I mean, he can... Nobody's making ancient stacks. So he should start doing that, I think, now, just because you don't have a good time in lane. And in bottom, we have a little block.
Flo, what are you doing there? It's not the best place to be. Loda gets to crush off here. Do they have enough damage though? At least they're gonna keep him in for a while. There's the bash coming out. But My Nuts has to actually run away. Board chipping away, and plus the axe is not gonna be enough. And hey, there's a snowball here. The spot rotation in will connect, and that should be a kill. Second blood being drawn down the bottom lane. That's Loda all alone, but they've run out of juice to get him as well. And yeah, Slaughter, of course, being a tanky hero and all. Still losing My Nuts there. Not ideal.
It's never good to lose.
Yeah. Maybe underestimated the tankiness from the Beastmaster as well. I mean, you look at the Slaughter, you see the 6 armor and 720 health. You look at Flo, also 720 health and 5 armor, so it's not all that far off.
Yeah. Either way, in this mid lane, again, we've got the case of Loda. He's getting pretty good farm in bottom. S4 is really dominating this mid lane. It's something where if S4 gets up a fast Orchid, Ember is going to feel forced into that Manta or BKB.
Yep.
And it probably actually a BKB here. You really don't want to go the BKB. It doesn't give you damage. You want to build Ember like a glass cannon. And we have an engagement on bottom. Another snowball in onto Loda. He might actually take... Oh no, they're going to kill Flofos. One more auto attack and they don't need it. They get it with that Thunder Strike. And now the glimpse back onto Tusk. He has Ice Shards. Maybe he can separate. But suddenly S4 is here. And it looks like stand-in no name. Probably going to take a fall. There's the sprint. Can Loda... Oh, he just eats a mango. He doesn't even need the bashes. And of course the last hit is a bash.
You're not going anywhere, says Loda as he claims yet another kill. Once again, I missed it completely, but Llama, of course. Thank you for for casting that one.
Oh, no worries. Yeah, I just got off the back of some being camera, so
yeah.
I'm all prepped and ready. All my camera bones are warmed up.
Well, I'm just worried for PRIES right now because, well, we've seen how this middle lane goes squarely in favor of his 4, and then the rotation here giving him even more momentum, so he's gonna be miles ahead of not just Tamer Wild, but also the Ember Spirit, as you mentioned. But Tamer Wild as well. Temple Assassin is a hero. Oh wow, double damage even on S4, so it's gonna make it even worse once the refraction is down, but Tamer Wild, for now, DD will expire, so it's gonna be alright. S4 has to be careful now.
I think S4 can still kill him. Yeah, Sonic Wave. One more auto attack. Will it strike? No.
Well, there is
he should have. He might.
Time? Not enough. The refraction was up in time, so Tamer Wild will survive. Not so much the Undying up top here. Him to sacrifice himself, but the zombies are still going on to fast flow. Not quite enough to actually bring him down with the help of that axe of the Dimension Breaker chopping them down. So miss one kill, but we catch an almost kill in mid at the very least. Didn't really expect his 4 to keep going there with that low health, but hey, almost made it work.
He had a bottle charge as well. Unfortunately, he didn't maybe get the most out of it, but either way, he's still in control of the lane, it feels like. Although, Absolutely. As I say that, Tame My Wild picks up a regen, so that's really going to help him out. He's still really far behind. S4 is about 1,000 net worth higher.
Yeah. It's mostly due to the kills that S4 has been able to get though, or the kill and the assist, I should say, because Tamer Wild's actually doing quite well in terms of the last hits. Of course, the refraction plus the Psyblade extra damage helping quite a bit, just being able to secure those even up against the Queen of Pain, but still, the problem still remains, and I want to touch on that a little bit earlier. Temple Assassin is a heavily momentum-based hero. You need to be ahead on this hero to actually make it work. You need to, like, you blink Dazzle before anyone can really be tanky enough to survive that burst and turn around on you. Right? You just can't afford to have that happen. And right now, it's looking like this may be the case for PRIES if this game goes on like that. Meanwhile,
oh gosh, what's in mid?
They don't have
No, they don't have any. Do they have sentries? No, they don't have. Oh, they're just gonna bloody keep screaming on her though. Yep. So looks like they have dust coming out. Yeah, goodbye, Tame My Wild. And the rotation. Oh, this must be really frustrating for Tame My Wild. You can see the smoke up from Tusk and Lina was right there. It was on its way. Maybe a bit of a miscommunication, or maybe these two smoked up to try and get there faster, but not in time to save Tame My Wild. And of course, it would have made it a 3v2, and maybe they could have done something. Also, Admirable Bulldog. Ugh. Words. He's transitioned to the jungle and looks to be the orchid.
Snowball him up. There's some follow-up stuff from Light Strike Array, and Flow comes in. Easy pick off here, so they make the smoke work after all.
Yeah.
What happened to Bulldog there?
Oh no, it was just he has been doing the jungle, which I thought was an interesting way, deciding that the lane with all 3 of them was a bit too rough for him, and he's also really going for that orchid. So Ember Spirit will have to go a defensive item here, and maybe more than one.
Yeah, it's not it really sucks for Ember though. I mean, she can still go for the booty travel builds and just kind of ignore what's happening on the map and just try and farm up. But with TA being as far behind as he is, by not being as ahead as he needs to be, I don't really think he can actually afford that. I think he needs to try and make use of that early game Ember Spirit strength. Once you get your couple of levels up and you have your Flame Gut max and the Searing Chains max, you can actually do quite a bit of damage. So they may just have to use that to try and get some momentum back.
And he'll be hitting bots soon, which will be nice. He also went for a bottle, probably going to skip the Aquila then, but this bottle will really make sure he has mana for those combos. It is a bit, since you're an Agi hero, it's a bit mana intensive. So, gonna be nice there for the Ember. Flow. Again, it's a race.
Yeah, Flow gets glimpse back at the bottom into the stun, and the Tombstone is there just to secure the kill, plus the bash. Nice execution there, just a glimpse back into the crush. It's pretty damn good, plus the vision from the amplified damage, just to make sure that you can get the glimpse once it's maxed out at ridiculous ranges. It's a really good combo, actually.
Yeah, of course, the bash damage and the slithering crush damage are physical, so the amp damage, the amp amplification spell just makes them all a lot better. So nice synergy on that hero, and okay, we got one stack finally in the Ancients for Tame My Wild, so he's going to go stack it again.
Yep.
And hopefully that'll help. He, as you said, he does like to snowball on the Templar. It's a hero you want to snowball on, but if you're behind, you can really easily farm Ancients because of your Psyblades.
Yep.
So maybe we can do something here.
They do pure damage here in the bounces, so it's... Oh, S4 has to blink away. Very aggressive movement here, courtesy of that haste rune, and yeah. I'm not gonna farm up the Ancients just yet, just probably try and stack it up one more time before they go for that. Maybe a couple of extra levels into the Psyblades. Wouldn't go amiss either, but yeah, it's one of these comeback mechanisms that can work out for you. And I'm not sure if Alliance actually know about the stack happening. They can probably figure.
The Ancient?
Yeah, the Ancient stack.
I mean, they're probably not as... I don't know if they ever scouted it out, but it's not as bad as it could be. It's something where at 10 minutes you can have 7 with this smoke. It's going to run into S4. The Primal Roar comes out. They should have enough damage here, and the Light Striker Ray finishing her off. In my wild, not even needed. So that is a huge pickup for them.
Yeah.
He was top of the net worth before that. So, nice.
Yeah, now it's actually the Ember Spirits, so... Interesting. Wasn't even part of the kill, but hey.
Nobody's been up top for a while. He's also farming the jungle. He's got the bots. He's going to finish up a magic wand. And just with the bots, it makes his farming so much faster. Add the bottle into that, yep. It just really helps the sustain. So it's a nice build to go, and he'll probably work on the Battle Fury right away. Now, actually picking up Ring of Protection.
I don't know, value armor?
Be odd if he gets an Aquila because there's already one on Templar Assassin, but he might decide he's split pushing.
We'll see, but yeah, we just saw what you can do with the Winds of Travel. You just leave a remnant there in the jungle somewhere, then teleport back to base, hang on mid lane, Tame My Wild. Gonna get gone on here, and whoa, hello, that was some burst damage, but the turnaround is there equally. 1-for-1 trade, might get a 1-for-2 trade
they
so
got the
far.
courier too, because of the Sonic Wave. Sonic Wave kills courier.
Alright,
so yeah!
That was an extra casualty that I did not foresee, but did deliver his items at least.
It's actually really funny. Are they actually going to go on? No. Loader just blinks away. He's got the blink up, by the way, and it's actually really funny and common. But we got a snowball in mid. Admiral Bulldog, is he going to latch the searing chains? He's actually not going for it. I think he's far enough away from the creeps that he gets it. And now the trees, though, he just cuts his way through. He's got a nice little quelling blade there because he's going to build into Battle Fury, but he's glimpsed back and his Flame God is down. He's taking too much damage. A nice Ice Shard saving Fast Flow's life.
That was a really close call there, absolutely. But yeah, Bulldog going down, not ideal. It's the first time I've actually seen him do something on the map, like apart from just being annoying up top. But sometimes you see just Nature's Prophet go for this early aggression builds, just try and hang on. There's the remnant forward. They do catch Midas here, and that should be a kill. No rotations there in time to try and help this. Plus a tier 1 tower, so that's the kind of momentum that PRIES needed that we're talking about to get them back into this game. So yeah, they're finding these picks now.
Yeah, and they're doing a really good job. Oh, okay.
What?
Yeah, it looks like Tusk is gonna fall as well. While he did get the kill on Slaughter, they paid for it dearly. Not quite sure if that was worth it.
I don't know. I mean, I'm really confused right now because last game was so quiet in comparison to this. Now this kill's happening all over the map, and there's gonna be more of that. I mean, both S4 as well as Bulldog, they're building both orchids, so it's gonna be plenty of silencing. Ember Spirit, he definitely needs a Manta, or you may even have to go for the BKB, which, as you said before, is not ideal at all for this hero. So it's
yeah,
hard game.
It is rough, but a nice DD up on Tame My Wild. I'm going to get rid of all of those nice little stacks. Also, Beastmaster now getting closer and closer to his Necrobook, which is going to help them in a variety of ways. The passive, first you've got Inner Beast on Beastmaster, and then when you add in the Necrobook passive, your people hit really fast. And Bershon. Normally you wait for Deso, but with a DD and Meld Strike, you can probably get this. It might take a while.
And they also have... just meld them on someone. I thought they might have had a medallion on someone as well. Tusk can build that if he wants to, but yeah, maybe enough. But Alliance, they may know what's happening. They're sending one of the treants out. Imagine Breaker, he's invisible. He will pop the smoke. That'll make Alliance unsure about going and committing into this for the time being. Loda will
Yeah,
scout
hello,
out that there's
little
no one
tree
else,
man.
and now he will blink in, maybe? He will fight Tamer Wild here, put the amplified damage on, but now Fastflow kind of caught in a bad spot on the wrong side of his team. Loda though taking the bigger burst from Tamer Wild, but he's gonna fall. S4 blinks in, looking for Flow, just chasing him off, and actually double kills. Lina also just mills under that. And I just keep not seeing Lina there, but hey. Back to the game, Roshan very
She got
low
hit by
on
the
health.
sonic wave in the back.
Yeah, once again, it's just the same in mid, I just never see it actually happen, but hey, they're gonna still take a Roshan. Oh, the stun up top! I don't know how they did, but they did. Alliance comes in, will beat the Aegis straight off the bat. But there was a promise of 2 kills here, it might still happen. There's a glimpse back onto Magic Breaker on the Tusk, and S4 will get that. Now Fastflow coming in to try and get a counter. It's not going to happen though with the blink out again, so Aegis immediately used for extra gain. Was it worth it though?
So I think, yeah, I don't think it was worth it, the Aegis there, but I think that they thought they had a really great setup with Slaughter getting both of them. Unfortunately, the snowball save, so it happens.
Yeah, but I don't know, it feels like it's a really awkward angle to engage up here from inside, from the low ground up top.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm oohing because this Ember Spirit, he's decided... I'm not 100% sure on this. I think he's going Yules. It's going to help him with the silence. He maybe doesn't realize that both Admiral Bulldog and S4 have silences. So I have Orchids at this point.
Yeah, well,
so
they just picked it up,
Yules...
so, but yeah, you could have probably picked it from the from the Oblivion Stars before.
You can also get rid of Static Storm, not get rid of it, but you can tank some of the time duration, because of course if Ember Spirit gets silenced by that, he doesn't have a way out without a BKB early. I really think this unfortunately was a BKB game just because of all the silences. It's just full stop a really rough game for Ember, the way they're itemizing, because even if he got a BKB, it would go down to 5 seconds very early on, and then they just waited out and silenced him afterwards.
Yep.
So, and it is the Yules on Ember.
I'm not too sure about that either. Just
I've seen it before. It's not. I don't think it's even. It's picked up quite a bit in programs. Not quite a bit. It's not, you know, one of the most common, but it's not outlandish either. It's not something we've never seen before. It just really puts your battle fury timing back, and you do need that against this lineup of alliances. You need the battle fury. You need the crit.
Comes in, blink, crush, amplify damage. That's a static storm, and no use just yet. Yeah. Speaking of setting back his battle fury timing, now that's his Yule's timing set back as well, and just...
in mid.
Oh, mid. What?
And my wild goes down.
Just once again, all over the map. Can't really blame me for this.
I mean, it's nice.
Oh man.
It's a nice juggle.
Stun here from Loda. S4 comes in, doesn't have his ultimate, but a little bit of extra depth. But now Turnaround will throw on this 4. They will bring him down. Loda doesn't have another crush. But from the backline, Zaki comes in to try and salvage the fight, and they will. 5-for-1 trade now across the map, plus a tier 1 tower. Beautiful blink in initiation there from Loda. They give up S4, but they gain so much.
Yeah, you get 2 towers here, most likely, and not feeling like without that Battle Fury from PRIES that they have a way to stop it. I think if anything, yeah, Ember should have probably BKB'd then Battle Furied if he was really worried about the defensiveness. He's trying to be a good teammate and come to some of these fights because he was having good early kill potential, but as we saw, Alliance picked off one in bottom and then they just immediately went mid and picked off the rest, knowing that they had the numbers advantage. So a really smart play from Alliance.
If you look at the graphs, those last couple plays, they netted them about 7,500 gold advantage here once that updates. Same for the experience, so that was the first major bump we've actually seen this game. PRIES so far have been able to keep it under control, yeah, as much as you could expect, but with the draft disadvantage, feels like that's not nearly, or hasn't nearly been enough. And yeah, just getting harder, but of course, you still have the Beastmaster, and there's a bunch of things that you can do with that hero on the back of the Hawk, especially in this game with the Boots of Travels already up in Ember, so you can still try and go for the split push route. Up against the Nature's Prophet though, you're evenly matched.
Yeah, so Gonna be a bit rough from PRIES, and also with that lost team fight that put them firmly behind. They're about 7.5 thousand and experience behind, and almost the experience more worrisome because we're gonna be seeing that level 2 static storm, level 2 flash storm, pretty worrisome. Oh gosh, here come the orchids coming out. There's a snowball in, but I don't know if Tusk wants to be there. Nice static storm as well. This is the problem with Tusk, and now, yeah, he's just gonna eventually go down. Actually, they do a good amount of damage to Arky, but here's Bulldog. He gets one in the trees, and a Sonic Wave on 2. As for the Soul Rip, just heals him all the way back up, and one more auto attack on Flow, the amp damage, making it so he's no longer tanky, and they're still going for more. Ember Spirit manages to remnant away. The Queen of Pain does have her Orchid up, but she's not going to dive into their base, I think. Oh
What?
gosh, I'm wrong.
Tower.
No,
Yeah,
she doesn't. She's not able to get the Orchid off.
We're just about to eat your words there, but hey, S4 should be alright. You've been protected here by the lightning rods. Man, it was just excellent execution and almost with too much ease, but that's just the lineup they have. We saw the Blink and Orchid, and then the try for counter initiate from Tusk, but the rest of the team wasn't really there, left him to die. And that's exactly what happened, just straight into the static storm, no way out, easy pick off, and then Admiral Bulldog teleporting in closer to the back, looking to continue the fight, trying to hold up whatever of PRIES' lineup was left for the rest of his team to catch up and clean up as well. So well done indeed, as I do get some calls to up the in-game volume, so we'll do just that right now.
Either way, we've got the Shadow Blade up on Admiral Bulldog. We've got Loda working on his BKB. And that's just going to make him not have to worry as much about any of this Ember's damage. He can run right into it. He's still vulnerable to a lot of what comes out of Beastmaster being physical and, of course, Primal Roar going through BKB. But he will have a much better time now against Lina, the stuns coming out of Tusk. And Lina's nowhere near an Ags, of course, because she's a support Lina, so he doesn't have to worry about Sprint Laguna Blade as much.
Yeah, it's on a far horizon here for this Lina, and it looks to be the game as well for PRIES. Further and further behind, still holding on to the tier 1 bottom here, which is a little bit of a miracle.
Yeah, one big team fight can turn these types of things around. There is weaknesses in Alliance's lineup in that if you get Nature's Prophet off the match, if you can find him, pick him off, yes, it's hard, but with the Necronomicon beginning to come online for Beastmaster, it gets a bit easier, and if you can pick him off repeatedly, there's a weakness there in Alliance's lineup, because, they do have that split push, but haven't been using it too much, and they're going as 5 on this bottom lane, it looks like, although Nature's Prophet, he's about to go top. He might kill off Ember if Ember isn't careful. He's got a Shadow Blade, he's got the Orchid, he's gonna need a lot of damage, but Ember remnants away.
Yeah, I mean, if you only have that one silence, or not even that, then he still has the Yules now, so it's gonna get a little bit harder to try and lock him down, especially all alone. But hey, it's all the space in the world for Alliance here to just keep going down in the bottom lane. Embersplit is not in a position to fight yet here, especially with the item build that he's been forced into, more or less. And, Alliance just holding all the cards right now.
Yeah. So, in top though, Templar, she's getting close to her blink. It's maybe not, the most ideal timing, but she of course does have the Deso up. She'll get the blink. This will help them wave clear some and also maybe pick off people. They need to start carrying dust. I'm still not sure if they've seen Bulldog's Shadow Blade. Yeah, they have, I think, because we've got dust up on Tusk. So, oh, but in bottom, it looks like a glimpse into a static storm. Ember does manage to get out, and he's gonna be fine.
I've never seen that happen. What those? I think
Remnant's instant cost point, and Static Storm applies in ticks, so I think he could Remnant off the glimpse.
Oh yeah, that's probably it.
So. You can I think you can Remnant during that time, and it doesn't pop you. You're invulnerability frames and so on, blah blah blah. So lots of options there. I'm not actually sure on the Static Storm. I feel like it has ticks because I think I've seen people blink out of it after Aegis in a Static Storm. So.
It's really weird. It feels like it should immediately start doing damage here because, but I'm not exactly sure what the tick interval actually is, to be honest.
Yeah. Either way, Admirable just returning to being a split pushing machine, maybe also going a BKB on him, and DD on S4 again.
I might look to turn that into a kill on Embersplit, but he won't have any of it. He's just trying to stay as safe as possible, as you would expect. Same time, it's actually Tamer Wild, who's doing split pushing duties up here on top, but Alliance, they don't really care, or do they? Doesn't really look like it. They're looking for another Roshan, which is of course the bigger prize here, and definitely worth giving up a tier 2 over. If you even lose it, we do have Admiral Bulldog just taking care of his lane here. The can of course come back in about 10 seconds once the TP comes off cooldown again. This Roshan tab will get sprouted out by the frozen sigil, but just a tad bit too late to actually do something about it. S4 claims the Aegis once again, goes right to work on this tier 2 bottom. Or tries to here with the... there's one creep left to break the Ragdoll region, so that'll do. Oh, Bulldog held out. Once again, Loda came to help.
Oh yeah, he also used the orchid. It makes it hard for
middle lane, fast flow.
my wild.
No, wow, that was super damn close though. It was just a blink crush plus on the amplify damage.
Bulldog's going. Oh, he thought it might be up here. He's going for Windex. He can see her here. Oh, he doesn't manage to quite hit the sprout, but very close. And in the meantime, while all of this is happening, just buy space for the push on bottom.
Yep. Tusk, he's actually going in. This is a big mistake. The stack slump comes down. And that's a Tusk going down as 4, looking for more, looking for flow in the back.
That.
What? Well,
they'll still get the kills, but he missed the Sonic Wave on one.
Still all die. Fast flow, not quite yet though. But he's being silenced up, trying to use it off, but Bulldog is here. Doesn't have his own use though. Probably BKB just to keep himself safe, so they will at least chase away the Ember Spirit and claim the tier 2 for sure as Loda. He doesn't have an invincible, blinks into the base, gets it on fast flow, his voice as well, that's a kill! Finally, they claim that elusive Ember Spirit and no buyback, nothing really to try and save the base with everyone dead on cooldown and not really doing too much. That should be at least a set of racks.
Yep. It feels also hard for Prius here. Ember Spirit can defend against supers, but he doesn't even have his Battle Fury yet, and you do need another damage item. They have a glimpse backwards. It's going to be the Lina. Are they going to go on this? She has Laguna Blade and so on. She's actually just going to stand there, taking, it's kind of a zoning kinetic field. She's taking some urn charges, and they just silence up tomorrow. Slithering Crush misses, but that's just fine. They're not too worried about that. So 1 rack's down, and Alliance's game looking closer and closer, being in the favor. But Primal Roar onto Loda. They put a bunch in the snowball. Oh no, it's just the Tusk. I thought he brought TA with him, but it's just gonna be a death like that. And now Tame My Wild just having a rough time up here. No more fraction charges. Queen of Pain. Oh, they use the dust as well and silenced, and that's her GG call.
Yeah, it's just a little bit too much. The momentum just squarely in favor for Lions from minute 1. As they still keep going here, Lina will fall to Arcade of all people. Double kill for him to end the match, and swift to a victory here for Lions. I guess most people expected that. I didn't actually check the odds on Dota 2 Lounge earlier. But yeah, 86% in favor of Lions. No big surprise there, but hey, PRIES, they I don't want to say they looked bad in the first game. They had a pretty good draft going, just weren't able to execute it really. And